I've bought these $1 sponge kitchens from the supermarket and I'm gonna show you how to paint with it. It's super easy. Just follow till the end and you'll be able to do that too. If you want to learn this painting's color palette, I'll put the link below. You can easily click on it and learn it. Okay, I painted the bottom of the painting, but I'll show you it later how exactly I did it. It's still unfinished. I'll finish it later. But let's first start with the sky. I use a slightly damp sponge, not wet. Too much water creates streaks, and no water can make it difficult to fade. Tap the sponge onto a paper towel before touching the canvas. It prevents splotches. The key is moisture control. I dampen the sponge just enough to glide the paint, not wash it away. Start with the lightest color first. I use two different sponges for cool colors and warm colors. And also you can use two different sponges for lighter colors and darker colors. Makes it more clear and more clean, and it prevents to make it very dirty. You can also use one sponge, but use one side for the darker colors and other side for the lighter colors. Just fade it smoothly. We don't need so much power. To fade it completely, we need only gentle touches. Just stroke it softly and with caution. The bottom of the painting is still wet, so I'm fading it too. I'm fading it very softly to avoid any boundaries and fade it very smoothly. You can put different colors on your sponge and fade it with the painting. I chose purple and yellow, the complementary colors, and also blue. We'll finish the sky soon, but first let's go back to the landscape I painted before. I chose a small canvas, but you can choose a bigger one. The bigger your canvas is, the more easier you can fade it. Okay, it's my color palette, and these are my $1 sponges. I start with a spatula to make a beautiful landscape. These are the random colors I chose, but I mostly use complementary colors like the different shades of purple and different shades of blue and yellow and also green, because the landscape needs green. And then when I apply paints, I use a spatula to mix them, but in my own way. It's kind of semi-abstract painting. I'm doing it with caution and I'm just mixing the colors. This is very easy. You can do it at home. Also so fun to do. You can choose whatever paints you want. It can be very randomly. It can be your decision what paints you use. You can do it while watching. By watching, you learn to paint, not by saying or telling the secrets and instructions. So just watch it thoroughly to do it. The more you experience, the more you paint, the better you will be in the painting. Whenever you want another paint, you can just add it. Don't be scared. Just do it. It's so fun to do. There's nothing to worry about. Just do it and have a fun time with it. And also, by dragging the palette knife across the canvas, you can slightly fade the colors together and then tap over them to create texture. Just watch how I'm doing it, and you can do it too. And then, when these beautiful textures have been created, we can fade them into the background and into the sky and make a very beautiful sky with these sponges. But first, for the landscape, I prefer to use a spatula. It makes it more creative and it creates depth and texture, which is very fun and beautiful. I'll let you watch it and I will not speak. Okay, this is the unfinished landscape, but let's first jump into the sky and then complete the landscape. Unfortunately, as you can see, I painted the sky, but I forgot to film it. So I'm wiping the landscape off for you, and I will paint it for you again. First, I'm starting with the light shades of the clouds, and also I apply the darker shades of the clouds. As I said before, on the bigger canvas, you can do it more easily. As you can see, I applied the lighter version of purple above the cloud and the darker version below the cloud. There's too much contrast between these colors, so fading it will take time. You should be patient. As you can see, the background is still wet, so I'm fading it in the background. If it dried out, I couldn't do that very easily. The sponge, the one side is for lighter shade and the other side is for darker shade. It's more easy than using two sponges. But both methods work very perfectly. It depends on your choice. So many people have asked which paint should they use. It depends on your choice, but I prefer acrylic more than oil colors or any other materials because acrylic dries out very soon, but oil color takes so much time to get dried. When I apply textures, I like them to dry out very quickly, and it's not messy like oil color. And also one more tip is that you shouldn't let your sponge to dry out. You should use water. I prefer spray watering. When it's not fading easily, I use water and it will fade way more easy than before. So when it's drying out, you should use water. If you use spray water, it won't get messy and it will be cleaner and easier to use. And actually, I also use my hands, use my finger to fade the cloud because the canvas is very small and I can't do it with sponge very easily because sponges are so big. So the technique I use to fade it with my fingers is just very easy. You should be patient and you should use water. When you have two boundaries in two different shades of colors, one is more darker and one is lighter, you should just do it very patiently and you only touch the boundaries, not the colors. You shouldn't make the colors look dirty. You should just make it very clean. When you combine warmer colors like yellow with cooler colors like purple, it can get messy very easily. So you shouldn't just mix them completely. You should only fade the boundaries you have. I always move in small circular motions, blending the white into the background color, so there's no harsh line. If the clouds start looking too bright or too sharp, I just tap them gently with a clean part of the sponge to tone them down. The trick is to keep everything soft. Clouds should fade, not end. Fingers actually blend better than tools sometimes because the warmth of your skin slightly melts the paint. Never overblend. If you do, clouds lose their form. Stop as soon as they look soft enough. Always use a clean sponge corner for each section, or the colors will turn muddy. If you need the background to stay wet and not dry out very soon, you should use spray water constantly, but don't use it very often because it would get messy. Just whenever you feel it's drying. Decide where your light source is. Sunset, sunrise, top light, side light. The lighter colors should face the light source. Darker ones go on the opposite side. Before blending, I imagine where the light comes from. That helps me decide which side stays bright and which one fades into shadow. To avoid muddy colors, I always add a soft transition tone between warm and cool areas. If not, I just blend it very gently and softly, and I only blend the boundaries, and I focus on blending the boundaries more than the colors outside the boundaries. Sometimes two colors look beautiful alone, but once they touch, they create mud. Just remember this tip, it's very important. Keep both sides pure, and it makes the fade look cleaner. It's very important, it's the key. Clouds fade beautifully only when the layer of paint is thin. If it's too thick, it won't blend. It will just smear. I always keep the paint layer thin so I can fade it softly instead of dragging it around.
If you fade too early, the paint just mixes. If you wait too long, it won't move. So be careful. The secret to fade beautifully and perfectly is two things. One is straight blending creates lines. Circular motion keeps the clouds natural. Not to push very hard, it should be very softly and gently. You should only use gentle touches.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll put the part 2 link here. And if you have any questions about this tutorial, or if you want a specific painting tutorial, just let me know in the comments.